Welcome to the Blue Monday podcast, making their podcast debut. Dan Palfrey, what's your official job title in relation to the foundation? Dan, help us out.
Yeah, so I'm the director of the foundation.
Director of the foundation, and he's got his proper branded background and all sorts. Great to have you with us, Dan. We are going to explore all the great stuff that you and the foundation are up to ahead of the foundation fixture this season, which is Wolves at home, coming up 5th of April, I think it is. So we're going to find out all about that. But first, we've got to talk about all the amazing stuff you and the club are up to in support of the community. You guys announced this past week 150 first team engagements in the community this season. Yeah. Is that so far?
Yeah, that's so far.
Yeah, so brilliant work there. And just give us an idea of the kind of stuff what they've been getting up to.
Yeah, firstly, thank you for having me and giving the foundation the platform ahead of what is our biggest day of the season, is our foundation fixture, which we'll go into more detail on later. But a great opportunity for us to keep talking about the work of the foundation. And yeah, player engagement is a huge part of that. We want to have young children that are inspired, and that's across men's, women's academy, former players. Last week it was at a couple of weeks ago, it was at the former players dinner, and spoke about the foundation and the importance of it there. It's not just the current first team players, because a lot of foundations up and down the country will work predominantly with young people. We're a bit different. We have an aging population here in Suffolk compared to the rest of the country. So actually the support of ex-players at our wellbeing programs is just as valuable. It's incredible, having the players from the 78 Cup final, the 81 Cup final come down. Simon Milton, Matt Holland come down, who can speak to participants at our dementia cafe, who with the adversity that they're going through with that such cruel illness, won't remember who the people are of this season, but actually the people of yesteryear, the ex-players. That is so inspirational for them in those moments of respite. So yeah, we've got a really full focus of togetherness of everyone at the club, whether it's from academy, the women's team. We had lots of women's players in the build up to their match here at Portman Road last Sunday, giving out tickets to local schools, to our girls' pathway. So really inspirational from top to bottom. And it's really reinforced right from the top of the football club from Mark Ashton, that having that moment with them, talking about upon signing around the importance of community, setting that culture right early on. And then obviously we have Connor Chaplin and Natasha Thomas as trustees. So they sit on the board, and part of that is around reinforcing the agenda back into getting that back into the dressing room, so they understand the importance of that. And we see the benefits in that, none more so than that milestone, which you mentioned, 150 player engagements across the season, which will be the biggest in the country by far.
So you guys, are all over the place. You could have talked about the aged population in Suffolk, but I've seen stuff for promoting brushing teeth for kids. There's a huge range of different things there. Some of them football oriented. Of course, you're using the brand of the football club, but you guys are spread across so much stuff. What are the kind of things that maybe people aren't aware of, the stuff that you're proud of that you're involved in?
Yeah, so we're still only in our 6th year. We were relaunched in 2019. We're the official charity of Ipswich Town Football Club. We are legally a separate entity. Internally, as a culture piece, we are another department of the football club. We are community. Just like there's retail, there's ticketing, there's commercial, we are community. We're self-sufficient. We obviously use the power of Ipswich Town as that medium to engage, motivate, inspire, to make a genuine positive difference in the community. And as you just mentioned there, part of what we talk about is being more than a football club. So we do lots of work engaging with youngsters in primary schools with PE, lots of football development programs that we run in the evenings, from young children as young as 2 all the way up to kind of 16 plus. And then obviously we have provisions beyond that. But probably a lot of the focus in the last 18 months has been building up that kind of community engagement side around health and wellbeing, youth engagement, community participation, inclusion. That's been really important for us. So Yeah, we work in education and employability, sport and physical activity, health and well-being, and community participation and inclusion. So within those areas of work, we have 29 programs that we run, which culminates in us engaging on a weekly basis with just under 9,000 young people per week. Young people and vulnerable adults, I should say. So that has grown massively. And you talk there about the dentistry program, which is something that we're now embarking on. We've got a community project officer in place. That was one of the benefits of promotion to the Premier League, was that you are given a fund to run a program bespoke to the local needs right here in Ipswich. And we fought long and hard, did lots of consultation, lots of analysis of the community needs, speaking to the community. And sadly, Ipswich has got one of the worst rates for dental decay, and it's the biggest rate of hospital admissions for children aged 6 to 12. That's the biggest reason. And also within that setting, that is, I think we're the second highest rate in the country for dental decay and hospital admissions on that. So should be no rhyme or reason why Ipswich is that. So, you know, some people might hear this or watch this and think, well, why are the football club getting involved in that? But part of our agenda is responding to local community need. And if through the power of Ipswich Town Football Club and the badge, what that represents in the community, we'll do that if that's right for us.
That's brilliant. Yeah. That mission's so important. And as you say, the power of the badge gets you to places that other charities or other organizations might not. I mean, that's so great to hear, Dan. And, you know, you're a huge part of that. You know, you're setting that direction. The club are doing great jobs of kind of promoting it. You say, is it coming up to 3 years in November that you've been in?
Yeah, we'll be. Yeah.
How have you found it? Because it's quite a challenging role as well, I guess.
Yeah, it is, but extremely rewarding as well. Got an amazing team that sits behind me. Guys that are, though, you know, where I'm just talking about the 29 programs. They're the enablers. They're the ones who are delivering that on the ground and reach and having those engagements on a daily basis, young and old. And we're seeing some fantastic impact across the board. Yeah, it's a challenging role, but it's one that I completely relish. I'm really fortunate to have great support network behind me as well, in terms of the board of trustees, of which I've got Tom Ball and Mark Ashton, who sit on that from the football club. But the whole board are super supportive of that, of where we're trying to get to, and fully behind the importance of the foundation in the community and the direction we're heading in. So there's lots of exciting times ahead for us. We're really getting into a place now where, whether it be with the NHS, with the police and crime commissioner, local authority, where they're looking at us as a anchor institution who can drive key societal change. So it's more than a football club. We're now being seen as that, as we're so uniquely placed, because if we take the dental example, and there's other examples around this where we're working with young people who are on the cusp of serious youth violence, gang criminality, going down a path in life that isn't where they want to go, we can be that intervention. And we're so uniquely placed to deliver that, as opposed to a policeman coming into a school or a nurse saying you need to brush your teeth more. If we can use Bluey to deliver that message, and Connor Chaplin and Natasha Thomas, or we use Fabio Wardley to talk to the children who are going down a path in life that they don't want to, and also in hand with our coaches and our staff, who you just seem to get more out of the participants with them wearing an Ipswich Town tracksuit. They will open up. You deliver the sessions here at Portman Road in an inspirational setting, and it's so incredible to watch and see that impact that we're having, and how we genuinely are changing people's lives.
Yeah, and so many great role models that you got to see the change as well as have the message given to you at times, and so many great members of staff, as you talked about, getting involved there. In terms of your ambition then, and the kind of what next, is there anything specific in mind? You mentioned a couple of different groups and organizations that are looking at the club, but where do you want to take it?
Yeah, keep moving in the direction that we are, which is really supercharging around our fundraising, which will allow us to do more in the community. There's more in that space that we need to do. And part of that is just natural for where we are 6 years since we relaunched. So we really need to kind of double down on that. Blue Monday are a friend of the foundation, we need to thank you very much for your donation as part of that, but we need to reach more businesses, generating those unrestricted funds that allow us to increase our reach into the community and ultimately benefit more people. We need to do more of that, and opportunities and platforms like this allow us to spread that message. Long term for the foundation, Mark has made this pretty clear in different fans forums. We want a facility of our own, so that will really change the game for us. Really, our hub. So we're based in offices just away adjacent from Portman Road. So we're not actually at the stadium. We're in Ipswich Borough Council's Grafton House building. We lease the 4th floor on there, and we use so many facilities across Suffolk and in Ipswich. So that obviously comes at a heavy expense, and we want to create a community hub for ourselves long term that secures the future of the foundation, and is an amazing facility to enable so much participation. It will just be an incredible setting, and something that really is kind of the long term ambition of the foundation. That will, we've got to keep doing the work that we're doing operationally now to get us into the position to do that. So we've still got a lot of work ahead of us, but that is the ultimate long-term ambition for us.
And the ownership group fully behind that too. Obviously, there's a very aggressive strategy around growing the club and the training ground investment. Yep. The foundation, presumably a big part of that too.
Absolutely. Board couldn't be further behind that. Ownership group couldn't be further behind that. So on a match day, I'm fortunate enough that in the Game Changer Suite, I host some of the investors and ownership group, and get the opportunity to talk to them about the foundation, which I'm so thankful to Mark and Tom for enabling that opportunity to really get ourselves out there, because they are so interested in it, so generous with their time. But yeah, they're super interested in the work we're doing, the impact we're having, and also how they can help. So they're firmly on board.
It's great to hear. And you talked about the fan base or local businesses rallying behind. We're proud to be a friend of the foundation. Our friends at the Greyhound do a lot. I think our friends at Atwells as well are part of that too.
They are. Yeah.
Got to grow that that community, that get more friends involved, and no better way to do that than a dedicated fixture coming up 5th of April, the Wolves game. Yeah. Do you want to talk us through the opportunities for businesses, community groups, or even individual fans, and what they might be able to experience in the day?
Yeah, so to give an overview of what Foundation Fixture is, so it's our annual sort of takeover of a match day. The club are really generous in allowing us to really take that over, and that could take the form of, with a program cover. We will be collecting outside the ground in with charitable donations. There'll be donations from every pint sold, from every program sold, home match tickets sold. So the club are really behind this and really supportive of it, which we're really grateful for. It also, whilst it's a fantastic fundraising opportunity, it's also our biggest opportunity to raise awareness. I probably wouldn't be having this discussion with you if it wasn't around this. So it gives us that a really big platform to really bang the drum about what we're about and what we want to do, the impact we're having, but also gives an amazing opportunity to some of our participants that we engage with on a weekly basis. So we have like the coach arrival experience, that will be a takeover of our participants. The mascots, the match day experience, the fly the flaggers, they'll all be participants of our programs who will be receiving this amazing opportunity. We've even got a junior takeover day, which will see participants from one of our mentoring programs as a junior photographer, also around our divert program. They're going to be being a junior pitch walker, so working with the ground staff. So a real sense of community togetherness and cohesiveness, which is great to see. In terms of local businesses, supporters, groups, how they can get involved, there are a number of local businesses that are customer facing that will be donating a percentage of revenues and take-ins on the day. So we're really grateful for that. Those that are more B2B, they are getting involved on the week prior to Foundation Fixture by hosting kind of like a Wear Blue Day in the office, where there's wear an Ipswich Town shirt, make an optional donation, which all goes back into being reinvested back into the community. We are so reliant year in, year out on donations and fundraising to allow us to carry out the work that I've been talking to you about, the work that we want to get to, is so important for us. So on the day, there's opportunity to get involved with that. We've got text to donate features. There'll be QR codes around the ground to scan to donate. There'll be foundation staff walking around with bucket collections. You'll see an increased presence in the fan zone, but also, look, fully appreciate we're going through difficult times now, so we appreciate anything that supporters can give. But please just find out more about what we do. Talk to our staff there. You know, they'll be engaging, and they're really proud of the work they do. And you know, they don't feel much prouder than when the fan base are proud of them. And I firmly believe that the fan base, as a key stakeholder of the club, are really proud of the work that we're undertaking in the community. And just find out more, spread that awareness of what we do, and that really is important.
We'll put a link in the description as well, so people can click through that. I guess the other angle to it as well, if I'm someone listening or watching to that, and you know, you mentioned times are tight financially and stuff like that, but people might want to give up time or volunteer or offer support in different ways. What's the best way to do that, Dan?
Yeah, so you can reach out to the community at itfcfoundation.co.uk, or you know, reach us on social media. We've got a number of companies that are looking to do this kind of thing with volunteering days, which is great. And we're just exploring what that can look like, because a lot of our programs are where it's really important that we build up the consistency of the staff in delivery to enable that level of trust from participants. So it's not the kind of thing where we can parachute volunteers in on a day-to-day basis. That being said, we are going to be launching our new Empower Hub that will be running in the heart of IP2, which will be a lot around responding to local needs. So we've got a local facility in IP2 where we'll be running. There's lots of community need there around food poverty, fuel poverty, just general community safety as well of young people. So we'll be putting on different youth clubs, we'll be putting on cookery workshops, food banks. So there's lots of ways that actually we can get staff and from workplaces, but also supporters involved in that as we evolve that. So that will start to get rolled out in the next couple of months.
Brilliant stuff. Dan, thank you so much for talking us through it. Great to see what you guys are doing in the local community, making such an impact. And as we say, using the power of the badge for such positive change. Do engage on Foundation Fixture. Hopefully that it's a positive outcome as well. That would be great too, wouldn't it? Everyone coming away with a positive, warm feeling. And but we really appreciate what you and your team are doing. Dan Palfrey, Director of the ITFC Foundation, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Rich. Really appreciate it.